My name is Gary Butterfield, he, him.
My name is Kole Ross, she, her.
And we're just recording a little wrapper thing in case you're wondering why this is on your feed or the news didn't reach you. As we're recording this last week, we lost Jeremy Greer, one of our friends who we met through our shows, through Bonfireside Chat, and who was a host on the network and everything. And we thought people, one of the things about Jeremy is, in addition to being a close friend, he was great.
Yeah.
He was really good on podcasts, very funny, very insightful, plugged up a lot of holes in our knowledge base.
Yes.
And stuff. So we thought, and he, I wrote a big thing on Patreon about this, but one of the things about Jeremy is he loved podcasts.
Yep.
He absolutely loved this medium. He did as many as we do, and he's only one person.
Yep.
So we thought we would rerun the Jeremy files, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with non-human biologics. So these are the Jeremy appearances. If you want to listen to kind of a chronology of him being on the shows,
yeah,
and revisit those appearances,
yeah, just go back, listen to him being great. Wanted to do this in remembrance.
Yeah, he cared about having his podcast stuff around.
Yep.
After he passed, so we're doing our part for his Duckfeed appearances here, I guess.
Yes.
And in case anybody wanted to listen back, save you the trouble of having to search through the archives.
Yeah, yeah. So
give a listen.
These will be hitting the feed. I don't know if it's going to be all at once or kind of all in rapid succession. But yeah, just that is why you're seeing this stuff.
Yeah, and if you're not interested in that and everything, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Just ignore them as a thing. But if you are, here they are. And yeah.
Some of our landings were desperate adventures. We are now prepared to meet the inevitable counterattacks with power and with confidence.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Kole Ross.
My name is Jeremy Greer.
And you're listening to Bonfireside Chat. It is an undead second favorite in this case.
Yes, this is technically an appendix. We are doing PvP 201, and as you heard, we are being joined once again by Jeremy Greer, also known as EC. Is it EC on YouTube?
Sure.
Not EC.
Yeah. Not EC. Yeah. So what is it if it's not EC?
Opposite of what you said. No. It's, yeah.
It's definitely not that thing that you said.
Who's on YouTube? What?
Yeah, who's on YouTube?
Yes.
Blorp.
Yeah. No, but you may recognize Jeremy's voice, if not his name, from the previous PvP episode we did, and also the PvP's corner, I think, PvP corner sections in the appendices. And we wanted to invite you back. So thank you very much for coming back.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. We just wanted to, so as we keep mentioning, we're, desperately kindling the bonfire as old men who are afraid of the dark, and putting off the next episode after this, which we are looking forward to, but doing the wrap-up episode. And we figured that the first PvP episode, was a big hit. People really liked it, and it was really informative to us, but I had always been intending to get some more firsthand experience. And then when Jeremy started kind of consistently writing in with PvP stories for each area, I thought, well, what about all the areas we passed? Like, I think you and I, Cole, both said, like, wouldn't it have been awesome if we would have had this idea earlier?
Yeah.
Or you said it in your thing, Jeremy. You said, like, oh, I wish I had thought. One of us or all three of us said we should have had this idea before. So we figured, what? Fuck it. We can do whatever we want. Let's just do it. Start from the beginning of the game, and then also have kind of our own experiences to add to it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So let's start. Let's talk about me and Cole. Let's talk about kind of our builds that we use, and then Jeremy, you talked a bit about PvP builds during your last time, but maybe just kind of relay or reiterate a favorite that you did.
I actually have a brand new build it's not unique by any means, but it's new to me that I can talk about. So I put about 10 hours into it so far, and I'm really excited about it. But I'm insanely curious to hear your PvP experiences and the builds that you went with, and so I definitely want to hear you guys talk about it.
Okay, Cole, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so I decided to go with kind of a dexterity-based character. Instead of going with an Uchi, I wanted to try and do like a thrusting sword kind of approach. So I started out with the rapier, and then I ended up doing the S-stock. Just because I preferred its moveset a little bit. It was a little bit more flashy. It felt more in line with kind of the feel that I was going for. Kind of like low poise kind of armor. I forget ultimately what I went with, but it was like probably like black leather. Something like that, just so I could maintain like a less than a quarter roll. Kind of focusing on trying to do riposts and parries and backstabs and things like that.
Which are extraordinarily hard to master in PvP.
Yeah, I found that out right quick because of the lag. Found that out right quick. But just like my run through for the entire show had been like a no shields Vi. Kind of build. That's really common in PvP, and I didn't want to be another one of those kind of polluting the well, so I wanted to be a little bit more specialized than that. And also, I was doing Dark Moon, and that kind of seems a bit more of the Dark Moon flavor to be finesse kind of based. Yeah. So that's what I rolled with. I wasn't terribly successful because I don't have exceptionally fast reflexes, and trying to count frames and account for lag. I ended up most of my matches were just kind of like rolling around dudes until I ultimately just got killed.
Yeah. Were you? Yeah. Did you collect any ears at all, or were you?
Yeah, I got like 5 or 6 of them.
Very nice. Parrying in PvP is more about being psychic than anything else. Like you just have to okay, I'm pretty sure that guy in like 15 seconds is going to strike at me.
Yeah. And getting parried in PvP is more about being fucking infuriated.
Yeah, it's like
because it just God damn it!
Go up and make myself a drink.
More backstabs, but Jesus Christ, like the crazy people teleporting behind me.
Yeah.
Really kind of amazing and frustrating. Like I could kind of tell it was going to happen when I saw them going for it.
Yeah.
But I never knew how much time I had before their tells that they were going for a backstab, and when they would all of a sudden appear behind me. So that was really frustrating.
Yeah.
What'd you do for your weapon? Is it just like a plus 15? Did you just do a upgrade path, or did you do elemental it?
I never got it up to plus 15. There's roughly plus 10 or something like that. I don't think that I got to New Londo with this character. He was roughly I think it took him from 35 to 40 and trying to get him to a level build where I could invade at the most places. But yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I did so I wanted to do a gimmick thing, because I like those when I watch them on YouTube. So I went down and I grabbed the Gravelord sword, and my whole point was toxic. So I went and got a Gravelord sword and got it upgraded, the black hem set, and eventually the skull mask. So I kind of looked like the Grim Reaper, and had a bunch of toxic resistance through the black hem set, and then threw a bunch of shit and threw a bunch of poison daggers, and essentially just tried to toxic people with that. Got Toxic Cloud and Poison Cloud. And later, that Acid Cloud thing, which I realized is one of the most dickish spells. I don't know how much effect it has, but it can give me no gain. There's nothing in the fight that is going to really help with that. Unless maybe they're using a special R2 weapon, maybe that'll do enough damage to where the next time they do it, it'll break their weapon. Mm-hmm. But it was just spite. So I went in looking like the Grim Reaper and did a lot of toxicking people.
Were you following that up with Lloyd's talismans and preventing them from healing and just kind of watching them die, or did you just toxic them and then start beating them to death?
No, I just usually ended up beating them to death. I definitely ended up draining out a couple people. I had a couple really fun protracted fights where they ended up using all of their Lloyd's talisman or all of their Estus.
Nice.
Yeah, which was real fun. I didn't end up using the Lloyd's talisman. I meant to do it, and then just I would sit down and I'm gonna go do that, and then I would get distracted by something fun to do. But watching somebody, especially a new player, and just kind of toying with them is really fun. I would toxic somebody and then poison them as well, since they're different meters, so they can just really have and that toxic sound is really satisfying. The other thing I try to do for the build is if I could position myself behind a corner, I would do one of the cloud attacks and then walk out of it. like every time I could, which like I swear sometimes like worked the way I wanted to. Like sometimes people just acted normal, and I had people turn around and run, like who were using the Drake sword and full bite set, and just like it was awesome.
In my mind, every time you did that, like Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison came on the radio and you just walked out like a wrestler.
or a Britney Spears Toxic.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Britney Spears.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah,
I guess I'm showing my age. Jeez.
Or just any song by Poison. There you go.
Every rose has its.
Yeah. And you were pretty successful then, it sounds like.
I kind of did great. Like I was surprised because I didn't have most of my experience before this was being invaded. Mm-hmm. So at that point, it's people who know enough about the game to have a level of expertise that I didn't have most of the time when I got invaded. And this was the first time where I was fighting people who were my match or less. Near the second half of the game, my win-loss ratio got a lot worse. But I would say up through Anne Orlando, I was probably rocking about a 4-1 win-loss. And
nice.
Then
you were a Dark Wraith or a Dark Moon or
Dark Wraith.
So this is funny because like when we were talking, initial conversations, like not even just the, the text messages that you sent me asking, what do they gain from this?
Yep.
And on the show, like, you were saying Dark Souls doesn't need to be harder. And then the delight that you've been taking yep. Which is it?
About that. Yeah, two things about that I want to say. One is that I sent people really nice messages after I did it and told them, I'm doing the show, I'm trying to get experience, thanks for being a sport. And so I was trying to explain to them, and sometimes people reacted very kindly, and sometimes they're like piss off. And then I also tried to drop presents for people.
Okay.
So I figured that's how I balance out the universe. But I had the very distinct moment of
of introspection.
What can change the nature, or what makes a man abandon his principles? Well, fun, duh. It's because it's really fun to do so. Of course, that's why people stop being good.
Yeah, I remember on the first podcast I was on that both of you were kind of like, man, why would you? I kind of heard the unspoken question of why would you ever invade somebody? What is, and then to see you, especially you, Gary, because I think you're the one that's been posting most about it, to just make that 90-degree turn and go yes, invade all the time. It's been absolutely hilarious.
Well, I'm the person who's done a level 1 Dick Wraith, So
yeah.
I've never been entirely against it, but it's just funny to see the Dark Knight fall,
Absolutely, yeah. No, I had a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I tried to balance things out. But then, as you go too, I also see the way that the kind of banality of evil, where you just get bored, so you just kind of wonder if I could do this. It's a real dick move, but I wonder if I could do it. Yep, that worked. That's great. And then you just kind of start, and there's definitely a period, near the end, I was literally griefing people. It wasn't just a fight. It was what can I do to be the biggest dickhead? And that was
gleeful about it, weren't you? That's the feeling that I get sometimes when you've got them poisoned and toxic and they can't heal, and you're like, maybe I can kick them off that ledge too.
My favorite, we'll get to it. We'll talk about our individual stories. Talk to us about your build for this, Jeremy.
The most recent one, which was given to me by another goon named Lazy Programming, was a quality build. Are you guys familiar with that term from Demon Souls or Dark Souls at all?
I am. I don't know what Kole is.
I know what quality weapons are from Demon Souls, but I don't know how that would have mapped to Dark Souls.
So it's pretty much the same thing. The weapons are fairly the same. Quality build is generally 27 strength and 40 dex with whatever, I just put a pile of points into endurance and HP. I think I have 1800 HP on this character, which is just ridiculous. And your quality weapons are your claymores, your longswords, your broadswords, halberd, lucerne, those types of things. So this is a guy that's I think I have 80 something poise, and I'm using the halberd with the Leo ring, and it's been very, very interesting because people don't know what poise is. You can totally tell. It's really fun to invade this magic dude who's I'm going to shoot you with the crystal soul spirit. I'm like, well, I'm going to stun lock you for 10 minutes and kill you. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. I made it for one of the goon fight clubs that we do on the weekends. We're pretty much doing them every Saturday nowadays on the consoles. We bounce between 360 and PS3. But I ended up invading in the forest with it and just having a hell of a good time. Like, it's just been a lot of fun with it. Just doing the forest hunter stuff, which, believe it or not, I did when I first started playing Dark Souls, but then I switched to Dark Moon and Dark Wraith, and I got back into forest hunting again. It's a lot of fun. A lot of 2v1 stuff out there and a lot of hackers on the 360. But other than that, it's been a whole lot of fun.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's kind of go. So we're going to go a little bit area by area and kind of go down rabbit holes as we approach them. So we'll talk about individual kind of the qualities of each area and how it lends itself to PvP, and then anything that sparks up in our mind, we'll just kind of organically let that flow. And we're going to start out in an area that I did not get to do anything in, just because by the time I didn't want to. I was really stingy with my cracked red eye orbs, and I wasn't ready to fight the Four Kings yet. So I did not end up doing any or very much invading in the Burg.
Right.
Yeah, I've done a lot of invading in the Burg. I've done a lot of hosting in the Burg as well. It's if you go to any Dark Souls stream, you're going to see probably somebody is doing Fight Club stuff or just random invasions in the Burg. It's a very big PvP hotspot. For whatever reason, like I guess because I think it started when people wanted to troll the low level invaders, like the level 1 people that wanted to grief people. So you park your 120 guy there and just destroy some poor invader. There's a lot of fun stories to be had in there, but like it's just hardcore PvP. Like, it's guys that are waiting for fights that have probably fine tuned their build to Spurglordian. Like they're fine tuning that 1 or 2 extra points of poise and HP or whatever. And so
they know
it's a very active hotspot.
Yeah, which is the level of jazz I never got to, is like the poise breakpoints. Like, I went with a no poise character. I know what those are, but I never calculated them. I didn't do very much of my PvP experience were people who I thought were looking to do PvP. Like, a lot of people who I think were probably okay with it, and then some people who were. I got a couple gang up situations where I'd come in and they'd have 2 people with them, but I didn't do very much in the way of duels of people who I thought were waiting for it. And that's what this sounds like, primarily.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything in the Burg, Cole, like PvP wise?
Yeah, with the SL1 guys, but I got kind of bored of it just because like you guys have alluded to, people who are there specifically for it. And I'm not very good at this kind of fight. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm running around with my hand axe, acting a fool. It's like, okay, hitting up against the wall there. It's relatively, it's predictable, right? Like, there's nothing too tricky about the terrain. A couple of places where you can fall off, but otherwise it's mostly flat surfaces with high visibility. So it's it's about as even of a playing field as you're going to get, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to the Ullasil township, in that you have, 90% of it takes place in that little area where the
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's flat, square, and no ledges that you can fall off of unless you go a little further. So.
Yeah. I did do some invading before I had my build kind of built up, because I wanted to do these low-level areas a bit in the parish, which is the next area, which I think is the first. People are much more likely to go human here for in-game reasons. So you're more likely to be able to do kind of the organic invading rather than the metagame kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which mostly, this area, I mostly just stomped people, just because I had the Gravelord sword at +2 at this point, which is a really overpowered kind of thing.
Wow, yeah, that is. You were probably still level 15 or something.
Yeah. And that's what I was running into. And that I just, and I'll probably talk about it a couple times, but I really grew to love that weapon. I like that moveset a whole lot. The jumping R2 has a really nice arc to it, and I had a lot of really good luck, kind of. Running up to, not locking onto someone, but doing the jumping R2 to the right or to left of someone and catching them. And then if you kind of lock on at that point, I was able to stun lock people pretty easily.
Taught yourself how to dead angle. Very good.
I did, yeah. It didn't always work the way, and I could tell later on when I was fighting higher level people that they knew what I was doing, and knew how to counter it, which was difficult. But that, and then just the the regular strong attack has such a, because I was two-handing it, I was not most of the time not using a shield. I didn't mention it, but I used a lot of pyromancy on this as well, mostly for Toxic Cloud, but then later I ended up at Tens of Souls to spend, so I got it +5 and had a Great Combustion as well. And that has a lot more reach than it seems like it does. So I was definitely able to kind of stab people with the tip of that quite a few times.
Yeah. The parish is interesting because, like, even though I wasn't a dark wraith, you know, I was you know, waiting to get to Anor to be a dark moon. It's easy to just hang out here as a human and just be invaded, so you can get this kind of collateral, secondhand PvP just by inviting yourself, you know, by inviting people in this way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the first time where, like, and this was just the beginnings of it, but when my kind of just being a dick seeds were growing here, where I definitely had somebody where they were going into the gargoyle fight, and they had summoned Solaire, but I was were going to summon Solaire, and, you know, got on there and clicked it real quick, and then let them do it, and then kill Solaire, and then just leave. Which I did like crazy with Tarkus. Like that, most of my Sen's Fortress invading was just like taking away people's Tarkuses, and that's like, and that would be all I wanted, because like it's kind of amazingly unbalanced. Like there is so little penalty for dick wraithing and failing. Like nothing happens. You don't even go hollow.
Yeah, especially if you're invading by the bonfire, then you spawn and your souls are right there. Like
your souls aren't where you die; they're where you got summoned. It's incredible. Like there's just no downside to it.
I have lost more souls from invading and forgetting to pick up my bloodstain than I have ever from actually like losing in PvP.
Yeah.
I really like the parish. There's just the different levels of it. Like you've got the upstairs and the downstairs, and the arena itself, like where they fog wall you off. Like it's one of the bigger PvP areas. Like it's usually confined to that church, but I think you can go out almost all the way to the Hellkite Dragon or Drake, excuse me. And I mean the fog walls just don't exist. So you could really try to like lead an invader on a chase if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a story here about invading from the Sunlight Altar and going after people who are going after the Drake Sword?
Yeah, I've never actually done that. I've heard tell of this, and there's some videos. And I found that out when I was writing some of these notes up, that if you invade from the Sunlight Altar, you actually spawn right there on the bridge. And the weird thing is that you can actually be killed as an invader by the Hellkite Drake.
Oh, yeah, which is rare.
Yeah, I think that's one of the very few elemental like dangers as from an invader, like that, because enemy attacks don't hurt you and most traps and stuff like that. But you said the Drake's fire can kill you, but what will happen, especially if you're low enough, everybody has read like the make Dark Souls easy 101 game fac or whatever. So they're all underneath that little bridge, and they're got their bow out and they're looking up, and but they're zoned in, so they probably even missed the invasion message because they're aiming manually. So you can just go up to them and just kick them a couple of times and they'll fall right off the line. Which is what they get for trying to cheat their way through Dark Souls anyway. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you can figure out that tale. Yeah, no, and it's just like, and part of me, the couple people who did kind of rage at me, like I was really hoping to get some real serious hate mail. And it definitely didn't happen. And part of that's because like even when I'm being a jerk, like I can't help but being nice. Like I'm okay, I do this podcast, I'm gathering research, I can't help but being like nice about it. But even the little bits of hate mail I had, like I really wanted to explain to him, like this pissed me off too, man. Like, but this is the part of the cycle. Like the same way that Dark Souls breaks you down and builds you back up, this is part of it. So
are you suggesting that we need to make it gets better campaign for new Dark Souls players?
I don't know if better is the right word, but like just everything that you become everything you hated. Like you hate this right now, you think it's unfair, and eventually you'll get to kind of like it, and then eventually you'll do it.
You're talking about perpetuating the cycle. You're upset because people are giving you swirlies when you're a freshman, but when you're a senior...
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of them now.
You got your Letterman's jacket and your swagger and your Capri Suns and your cheerleader girlfriend and your...
And you went to a very stereotypical high school, didn't you, Cole?
Yeah, kind of.
Cole went to high school on the set of Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. I went to high school in Riverdale.
Yeah.
I had this giant phone.
Yeah. No, like mid Ohio, and that's about as Riverdale as you get.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I suppose that it is.
Yeah. But my schooling aside, yes, you have become everything you hate, Gary.
In a weird way, but I mean, I feel like I've seen the light. Like, it's a real epiphany kind of thing. Like, oh, it's not a big deal. And like, and most people, and like I said, very little hate mail. Like, most people are like, oh, that's cool. Like, I need to get better at this anyway, which was not the attitude I had when I got invaded. Like, I was pretty pissed.
Yeah, it's like, you fucked up my run, man.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But most of these people are just kind of like, oh, it's part of the game. And I wonder if there's actually been like a shift in the general attitude, because when I didn't start playing this a real long time ago, but it's been a while. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they are, the temperatures have kind of changed with that.
Well, I mean, I like the overall player base probably is a bit more experienced in general, right?
Yeah. And there's just kind of more media out there. Like, this game is still blowing up. Like, it's one of the most popular, YouTube sensations and stuff. There's probably just a lot more of it out there that's based in this. So these people who are playing, they search on YouTube. 8 out of 10 search results are PvP videos. Maybe they just are more expecting of it, as opposed to when I went into it, it was just something that had come highly recommended to me. Like, none of the people who recommended it to me did any PvP stuff, or any of the three principals, like you, Levi, and John, did any PvP at the time. So, it was an unknown quantity to me.
Yeah,
and that's why I think it took me so blindsided.
And this is a bit of a weird thing. Jeremy, you might be able to speak to this, but like the PC version probably has like the most legs in terms of getting fresh faces in because of like Steam sales and whatnot. Like, we're in the middle of the Steam summer sale right now.
It's been if you follow Twitch at all, the Steam sale from this week, like, it has turned just watching people invade. It was going from 5 minutes between invasions to literally as soon as they spawn back in, hit the red orb, they're invading another person. It's been crazy. And, to talk about hate mail, I find as kind of a guy that reads way too much hate mail for his own good, specific to this game.
You write a blog, don't you?
Yeah.
DarkSoulsHaters.tumblr.com?
Yeah. DarkSoulsHaters.tumblr.com. For all of your, if you just want to read a bunch of bad words on Tumblr, that's the place to go. Yeah. But most of that stuff comes from people who have been playing Dark Souls and have some sort of weird rule set in their head about it. The new players, and I found this too, just like you were saying, Gary, like, most of the time they would message you and be like, oh man, where did you get that sword? Or where did you even come from? I've seen that thing. How do I, like, they want to talk to you, or, like, when I was invading New Londo quite a bit, and we'll probably get to this eventually, but, people would immediately after I would kill them, they would send me a message, hey, can you help me with the Four Kinks? I'm having a lot of problems. But if you go to these, PvP specific areas, and these people have, whatever honor duel, no magic, no backstabs, whatever all that bullshit is.
No rush 20.
That's when that's when you start getting onto your hate mail situation. I find new players are generally very friendly.
Yeah.
And then we break them down.
You didn't bow first. You didn't bow first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So kind of next up chronologically would be the Lower Berg. I only was able to do a couple of invasions here. What is interesting about it to me as a location for that is that, and you run into this in the next area kind of for the first time, is that it's the last area that is not labyrinthine at all. Mm-hmm. So part of invading, specific or PvP via invading, is like tracking the person down. Yeah. Which was not something I'd given much thought to before I did this. And this is the last area where that's not really a problem, since it's just a hallway. Like, this might be the most linear area in the game.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah. So this was fun. The little bit I did, just because it was, easy to find the person, and there are so many environmental hazards. It's very dense with enemies for being a small space. So this was, taught me those two lessons. Like, one, it's good. Don't get used to this. It's going to be hard to find these people eventually. And two, it's really easy to lead people into the actual PvE hazards here.
People get mad when you do that.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly a big. Excuse me. I'm not particularly a big fan of this, just I guess for the reason you said. Mostly the environmental effects. Like, it's one of those areas that you spawn in and, 2 out of 5 times it's just immediately target destroyed because they got killed by one of the thieves or the dogs or whatever. So it's like you're wasting your time waiting for the invasion, and then you invade, you don't even get to fight. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and I think I did 2 here. Like, I didn't stay here for very long because I really wanted to get to the depths, which is next. Cole, did you do any Lower Berg stuff?
I never got any bites here.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's very difficult as a Dark Moon to find somebody that's human, because even like your New Game Plus people who would have Sin were probably not even going human here because they don't need help with the Capra Demon.
Right.
Yeah. So, next step would be the depths. This is probably these next 3 areas is where I did most of my invading. Mm-hmm. And the depths is where
the best 3 areas in the game.
yeah, it was super fun. Like, this was where I hit my stride, and I realized, like, oh, I'm actually, doing really well at this. Had a lot of fun with this. One of the things was it was difficult for me to figure out where to go, like where the guy was. Like, you can kind of look around for damage numbers popping up, but if the person's not being damaged, knowing where they're at was difficult. And sometimes just following the trail of dead enemies would not work because you don't know if they took the shortcut down from the bonfire, like where they're at exactly. So that was definitely tricky. But I did have the fun of coming in with somebody and teaming up with Kirk, which was a cool, like, it just it's the 2 of us together, like, partying, which was super fun.
Isn't there a weird, I guess, camaraderie between when you invade and you see the NPC invasions happen?
Yeah.
Like, there's been several times I've been like, oh, I'm going to go defend Chester. Me and Chester are going to team up. And the same thing with Kirk and, any of the NPC invaders. Like, it's always a lot of fun to fight alongside those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really fun spot just to, and I think I did link this to those notes. Did y'all watch that video with the cursed stuff?
I've seen it before, the notes.
Yeah, it's probably the most horrible thing you could do to a new player in Dark Souls. And for those that haven't seen the video, you can look it up on Red Rosie's YouTube video page.
It'll be in the show
He or
notes,
she, I'm not sure, whatever. Yeah, Red Rosie would invade in the depths and tempt people down to the cursed frogs and then use force to trap them there so that the cursed frogs would then curse them. And before that, I never really thought about it, but you totally see the host, like, go into the crystal form. Like, it's a cool death animation that I never even thought that you could see out from another person.
Yeah, they kind of curl up.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And it's based on like The Grudge or something like that. Like, it's a fun video.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's heavily
she does good
themed,
work. Yeah. Does real good work. Mm-hmm. She was one of the first. It's one of my favorite, like, PvP gimmick videos, and he or she did one of the first ones I saw that I really enjoyed, which was the sneak attack one, the sorcerer sneak attack one with all the cool stuff with Chameleon, and I was just like, I've got to mess around with that spell. Like, I haven't done anything with it.
She also did. I meant to bring this up in the parish, but she was the person that had a low soul level build in New Game 7 and would summon white phantoms who would immediately go after the hollows and not realizing they were New Game 7 hollows, and they would just get immediately eaten alive. or she would wait for invaders and use Undead Rapport on is it the Bernanke Knight? Am I saying that right? The big tower knight dude that's trying to keep her soul. So invaders would come in and like all of a sudden they've got this giant knight after them. New Game 7. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, just that indirect PvP is so good. Yeah. I had more like in the lower depths, like down towards the Gaping Dragon after the shortcut, just because people were human on that run to go do the boss run. Didn't have a lot of luck getting into the tunnels with the rats and the basilisks.
Yeah, I never got anyone to go down to the basilisk other than just on the kind of doorstep where Kirk was.
Yeah.
For the most part, I thought most people right around that first corner with the rats. That's where you invade from if you invade by the bonfire.
Right.
And Jeremy, do you know, does the place you invade from, does that vary based on how you're doing it? Will a Dark Moon invade in a different place than a Dark Wraith?
The only variance is when you're talking about a Forest Hunter. since you're invading from the ring, you can spawn from any one of the 4 or 5 spots in the forest. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, Dark Moon, Dark Wraith is the same thing. So
okay,
yeah.
And each of these, I didn't mess around with that too much, but each area has a couple of different invasion spots, which was interesting to me. I would kind of usually stick with one. I didn't explore all of them, but it's a neat thing because I could definitely see one, different. So, this is the question I was trying to get at. Does the place where you're invading from, does that alter the pool of people who you invade? So,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's all based on, because for my limited understanding of these hackers that kind of take apart the PC version of the game, when you connect to Dark Souls and you're on the internet, you kind of you're in a pool of people that are also online with Dark Souls, and that's your pool of people that you're going to be invading, which is why sometimes, especially in the forest, you end up invading the same guy like 3 or 4 times in a row. So I wouldn't think that it does. I wouldn't think that the place does, outside of the PvP zones, obviously, but I don't know for sure. No, I don't think that it would, but
I mean, I seemed to get like more to varying up my position would give me better luck in different places. Like Lower Blighttown was more successful than Upper Blighttown. Lower depths more successful than upper depths, but that might just be placebo effect or confirmation bias. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really easy to look at it too, especially lower and upper depths of, when I go into the depths on a brand new character, I'm always hollow, and I always go down there and I do my stuff, and I get to the bonfire, and then I turn human so I can summon a bud or summon Solaire or whatever. So, and I would imagine that's what most people do. So most of your invasions would happen in that lower depths area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you just never know with how vague it is with the multiplayer statistics. Like, you just no clue.
Yeah. You have a story in the notes here about summoning a dragon bro for one of your KJ builds.
Yeah. When I was first starting my lowest hull level Karmic Justice build, I was kind of surprised to see I was human, so I could invade, and I was surprised to see that there was a dragon sign right there. And I'm like soul level 30, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? So, and as I always do when I see dragon signs, I take pity on my dragon bros and summon him up, and we fought. And I don't even remember who won now. Like, it could be either one of us. But I messaged him later, and I was like, what? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you? This could not be. And then he told me, he said, no, I get a lot of hits down here. Like, I don't think people realize what they're summoning when they hit it. I think it's like a normal summon sign. And I was like, well, I guess that makes sense. Maybe that's a good strategy to get dragon scales very early in the game. I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I was definitely surprised to see that.
I forget if we talked about it in the 101 episode, but like, have you had any luck being a dragon bro? I
have never. I think I used that sign thing once. I've got a stupid gimmick build, which is using the dragon torso, dragon head, and then 4 different bows, and utilizing the dragon roar to to overpower the bows, basically. Yeah. But I've never done any of the, like, I always summon them because I think that you should do that for those poor guys that are trying to get scales. But I've never ever tried. I take that back. I have tried it once or twice, and I think I didn't get any hits, and I was like, well, this is boring. This is like grave lording. I don't need to do this at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. I've done a little bit of it, and then me and Brayton have our dragon bros for the Let's Play.
Yeah, those are great, by the way. I've been keeping and I don't really like watching Let's Plays either. Like, it kind of, I watch someone stream something, but Let's Plays kind of bore me usually. But those have been great. I've had a good time with that.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have to edit them. The next 3 of them are real fun, and then after that, we're getting to the hard parts of the game. So it's going to be
seeing that Black Knight and the Paris chase you guys down those stairs.
We're bumbling morons. Like, it is real Keystone Cop scenario. But we even were trying to summon each other. Like, each of the videos that are up now, and all 3 of the ones that we already have done, are going to feature 20 minutes cut out of us trying to summon each other for duels. Just because even though we know we're in the same area, we're connected, we have connectivity, we both have scales, it still doesn't work. Like, the Dragon Covenant is, it's all, the phrase, like, most broken covenant in Dark Souls gets thrown around a lot, but it's a candidate for it. Like, it does not work.
Are you guys using the connection fix or whatever for PC?
Yeah. It does not seem to make a difference with that. We're able to summon each other as friends, but to summon each other as foes is pretty rare. So the sign just doesn't pop up. I don't know why.
Bros before foes, man. Bros before foes.
It's pretty good. So moving on, Blighttown, another super fun area for this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. One of my favorite areas in the game to invade, period.
Yeah. You were in your element here, Gary.
Yeah. This is everything is toxic. So if I can chase someone down to the floor, from Upper Blighttown, which was my favorite thing to do. This is in my progression from going from chaotic good to chaotic evil. I became more into if I knew I had a new player, just harassing them and forcing them to do things. So if I invaded somebody in the upper area, I could kill them, but instead would just kind of keep toxicking them and poisoning them until they just kind of ran away, and I'd gain some ground, or I'd lose some ground. I wanted them to leave, and they would keep getting further into the level, and then but I'd always let them heal, and I'd always let them eat their moss until they got down to the floor, and then everything is poisoning them, including myself. Had a lot of fun doing that, and that's where
I'm going to call you out right now, Gary. I'm going to call you out because one of the questions that you asked me, one of your most frustrating PvP stories on the first podcast we did, was you being chased down by an invader and getting almost to that lower bonfire and then killing you, and you're like, why would they do that?
I didn't get chased down. He invaded me down at the.
Oh, he chased you. Okay, I didn't realize. I didn't remember quite, but
yeah.
You're not getting a free pass, Gary.
No, I don't want a free pass. To be fair, that dude, I was like, man, I've had a real rough time. Could I just go to the bonfire? And he killed me. So we communicated that dude. If somebody was just like, I'm having the roughest fucking time, I don't think I would kill them. I'd probably escort them and then give them the wave off motion and leave. If someone actually begged me, I'm having a hard time, it's Blighttown, man.
It's Blighttown, Jake. Forget about it.
But yeah, no, like I said, it's a descent. It's like a leaving Las Vegas-esque, I'm becoming everything I hate.
Were you invading from that upper bonfire?
I did a couple of different spots in Blighttown, actually. So this was a fun area just because it has so much variety to it. Upper Blighttown and Lower Blighttown are almost totally different areas and play completely differently from a PvP perspective. So I invaded from Upper Blighttown and Lower Blighttown.
The only reason I asked that is because that has to be probably the worst spawn point for an invader in the game.
I had no idea where to go half the time,
If you invade from the bonfire, you spawn on the little shaky bridge that's it's so hard to describe where things are in Blighttown because you have no point of reference, but the shaky bridge or the moving bridge that moves back and forth that's kind of underneath the bridge where the bonfire is, you invade on the other side of it. So the first thing you have to do after invading is run across this moving bridge, which is just the worst thing.
Yeah, but what I would tend to do is just try to get to the first bonfire and then see if there are dead dogs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you can then the chase is on.
Did you get good at spotting the I call them the phantom life bars? Have you ever noticed that where as soon as you spawn in, you can kind of look around real quick and you'll see the red life bar pop up and you're like, oh, okay, I know he's over there. I'm gonna chase him.
I would see more kind of motion than anything else, just out of the corner of my eye. I don't think I've ever recognized it as a life bar. Yeah. So, but yeah, I got a little bit better, just kind of immediately looking around and just seeing if I could see anything.
Cole, did you catch any sinners up here?
Nah, man. It's most people. So I never managed to catch people in the gap between triumphantly defeating the gaping dragon and getting to the first bonfire. Most people just there are very few. Just there are very few opportunities to get in there. Tried for about a half hour at one point to get people because I saw Gary having so much fun up here. Had more luck down in Lower Blighttown. And
the Saxville Blightons.
Yes, down in Lower Blighttown, and had on people on boss runs. It kind of seems to be the best way to go for Dark Moons, just because the criteria is so much slimmer, right? And And so, like this was fun because, like, you were trying to find people, but it was, like, wide open. Like, Blighttown definitely probably is the most area that you have to cover, like, in a straight run. Because one of the, like, if you're not invading directly from the bonfire, you often spawn right over by Quilog's domain. So you have to hoof it, if they're in between there. And, you know, remember to have your rusted iron ring hit, and also trying to keep your moss up. But this was fun, definitely, too, just trying to get people who were already on their guard. You know? Yeah. But
because most of them were probably already expecting at least Mildred to invade, and then they probably have summons because that's a pretty popular area. Quelaag's a pretty hard boss. So.
Yeah, I got beat down a lot of times here by summons back in the Dragon Scale area by the bonfire. This was not incredibly successful for me, but the one or two that I did manage to, if not beat, put up a good fight with, it was a lot of fun trying to lure them out and trying to get them to get poisoned either by the swamp or by the mosquitoes and whatnot.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple. This was also where I started running into significant numbers of 2v1s, like invading people who had help already. And there's the one place where if you invade down in the lower area and you end up on the bridge to the Great Hollow, which I thought is a really weird place for you to spawn because it's so far away, and if they're heading for Quelaag, you'll never make it. And I ended up definitely had a couple of duels. It was me and two people kind of circling around a pillar, you know, because I didn't want to do anything to anybody until I could get them toxic. Like, that was like my main goal. And then I would start fighting. But there's a lot of, like, I'd wait on one corner and wait for them to run around the corner and then, like, throw shit in their face and then run away. And, like, I could keep it up for a long time, but I kept dying there. Like, if there were two people, they would get smart, and one of them would go around one way, and one would go around the other way and teleport backstab me. And there's only so much of that I could take. I ended up, the other thing, too, is if I was going to be serious about this character, this is the first part where I realized, like, I'm going to need more humanity. Like, if I'm going to heal during these, and these are not honor duels, like, I can't just keep doing this. So I ended up going and farming for a bit, which I hate farming in video games, but I needed more solid humanities to keep up keep up appearances. So
keep up appearances.
I much prefer Upper Blighttown to Lower Blighttown. It's from an invading standpoint. But as both of you said, you kind of have to chase people down. There's usually 2v1s, 3v1 situations down there, and running through a poison swamp isn't fun. When you're actually progressing through the game, it's less trying to kill someone else in the game. And Upper Blighttown just has so much potential for griefing somebody, like just with whether you're kicking them down a ledge or you're kicking them off of a ledge or you're using force to bounce them off a ledge. Like, it's just always been my favorite. And I spent a lot of time down there. I did I think I mentioned this on the last podcast. I did a Maneater Mildred gimmick that would invade an Upper Blighttown that was just plus 10, whatever butcher knife thing, like not super high-end weapons or anything, but fire bombs, black fire bombs, toxic, Lloyd talismans, the whole nine. So it was, by the time they got to the real Mildred, they were probably like, oh, this chick's easy.
Give them a taste.
Yeah. Lots of ledge play up there.
Wow, ledge play sounds incredibly dirty.
Yeah,
how Michael Hutchins died.
just go down to the shit-filled town and just ledge.
Yeah.
You want to stay away from them Blitten boys and their ledge play.
The
Blighten boys.
The Blighten boys.
Yeah. Ugh.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gross, man. It's probably true, though. Like, if you're a denizen of Blighttown, low income, got to find some way to pass the time. Got to do some legend.
Legend, Gary.
Got to do some legend.
I'm going to put yourself right up to the ledge of orgasm. That's how the expression goes, right?
Oh, yeah. So if you're trying to play in ledge games, why don't you go to the area that is full of the most ledges in the game?
Yeah, the most dangerous game. Sen's Fortress, also a super fun invading spot.
Yeah.
So,
man, I have invaded so much here. I love it so much.
Yeah, this was fruitful territory. Especially
this is probably the first time in the game where you're going to start on someone's first playthrough that they'll actually have sin. So this is probably a really good place for you.
Yeah. This was fantastic. This was the area that kind of broke my trend of like, oh, you want to catch people on the boss run. Like even from the start, people for some reason were human on the run. I think that's just a result of the fact that most of Sens is just a run. You know, like even the bonfire is relatively optional. So yeah, like just this was good times. Facing people down on the narrow kind of like ledges. Even that, like, I didn't so much care that I was going to lose. Like my build was mostly based on evading, so I wasn't going to win. but to give them some level of annoyance, that was good. And a couple of times I led them to get knocked off by axes and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
excellent times. I love the invasion spots here too, because if you invade from the second bonfire, you end up kind of like at an overhead point of view on upper Sins. But if you invade, I think it's right outside of the bonfire. Like if you drop down on that third ledge, you actually invade on top of a ledge, looking down where people could be walking under you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a couple awesome drop attacks. Like before I ended up getting Great Combustion and filling up all my attunement with Toxic and Poison Clouds, I was using the Gravelord Sword Dance. Because of it came with the sword. It was the accessory that came with my sword. So I definitely did a couple, pop people up in the air on those ledges things, which is really fun. Yeah,
they probably had no idea what to do with like swinging blades behind them and like crazy sword dance stuff in front of them.
Yeah, yep. And this is the first place where I had my full costume too. So like, looked really, really intimidating. And yeah, so we definitely ran into a couple new players who just turned around, which is like super satisfying. The other thing too that I like about the narrow ledges is that it's such a playing field evener. So if they brought 2 phantoms with them, it doesn't matter. Like you're like the 300 Spartans. Like as long as you have a narrow pass, then it's as necessary.
Absolutely, it's a lot of fun invading in there. Well, I did that whole gimmick where I would just take the dude, put a giant shield on him, and just trap people in areas.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about people sending you messages and asking you like, "Hey, please stop! I'm new to the game" or whatever. The other day I was doing exactly that. Like I was holding this dude in like the little area in Upper Sins where there's a chest and 2 of the Baldernite guys, and I just wouldn't let him come up the stairs. And finally he backed off, and he was still for a little bit. And then, the message popped, and I looked at it, and it was just, "Please?" With a question mark.
I will debase myself if I can just get through this area, please.
I was like, well, I can't. I'm not. I guess okay. I'm having a good day. I'll leave. So I black crystal out and let that dude on his way.
So if only you could get the prostrate emoticon earlier, so they can humble themselves before you let them through.
So I intended for this to be like a Dex Faith run, but I just in the interest of getting as far as I could, I mostly just focused on endurance and dexterity. But this seems like a really fun place to use force.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you come back with that, like the Teleforce one, the one that you learned from Sigmire, I can't remember what it's called, but the range version.
Teleforce is exactly what it's called. Let's just refer to it as Teleforce.
Teleforce.
Yeah. It sounds like it fits in with the Dark Souls nomenclature.
Yeah, totally. Sounds like in 1990s.com. Teleforce.com, your source for Sen's death.
Or if you really want to do well on like Double Dragon, you get the NES Teleforce.
There you go. Emit force, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. That would be like super fun. I haven't done that, but that seems like that would be really like tons of fun. I also didn't do any stuff with the Dragon Grape Bro, which seems like it would be just a perfect fit, and videos have shown me that it is. But I don't know.
Yeah, I just did. I just posted one. I think that was the last video I posted actually, where it was just like me knocking 10 or 15 people off the ledge with the dragon bow. It's so satisfying, and you can't even, especially if you don't have the stats to wield the dragon bow, because you can still shoot it and it'll still knock people over, but your character does this whole like oh my god, that was so much effort, like they kind of spaz out a little bit, but it still knocks people off ledges or down or whatever. So it's a lot of fun for even a low soul level run.
Oh, I wonder if you can set up where the boulder throwing giant is and just deny people progress. You know, because they have to go through that area. No?
No, the ledge is too high, so you can't actually shoot a bow over it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You can hang out where the bonfire is, and look up to where the tower, where the crestfallen merchant is. And because when you invade, if they're over there, they'll kind of sneak out of that room and like start looking around a little bit. But they don't look down at the bonfire, and you can just sniper them off. Yeah, just knock them straight down.
Yeah, this was primarily like this is where most of my invading I did here was just killing Tarkus. But Tarkus definitely killed me a couple times too. Like that being like the most overpowered NPC in the game is no joke. Like,
he is stupid easy until he hits you once.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like he just happened to luck out, and usually it was the host was distracting me. Like I would, the host would either like present, and oftentimes not on purpose, like he would present some weakness I wanted to exploit, like, oh, I'm trying to kill Tarkus, but like what happens if I can poison this guy a little bit? And then I would like just turn my back to the side a little bit, and then Tarkus would stun lock me until I was dead, and then I'd get a bunch of what is it's in a row in my camera. Like, well, all right.
I used to do the same thing, like bait people up there. I'd drop a couple of humanity on the ground and like get them to follow me like I'm the friendly dark wraith, and then get them to summon Tarkus, and then I'd like do the little cheer emoticon thing, and then I'd back up and Tarkus would come out, and I would just immediately kick him off the ledge, like not even try to fight it, just kick him off the ledge, and then the host would be staring at me, and I'd be like, okay, later, Black Crystal out.
Yeah. I did an awful lot of that, or I would let them approach me to attack me, and then I would turn around and jump off the ledge.
Oh yeah, drag them off with you?
No, I would just kill myself. Like I accomplished what I wanted. Like Tarkus is done. It's more about spiting you than in helping me.
I got everything I need from you.
Yeah, you're dead to me now. Yeah, but like super fun area. This is probably the most fun that I had was in Sens. Super great.
I still do it all the time. I've got I think she's a soul level 40 or something that's just parked here.
Yeah, which I also like because it's a nice balance. Like you can make a reasonably versatile and powerful character here. Like lower than this, when you have to kind of strap yourself, because you can definitely play through the game and do a really low level character, and equipment is really really important. But I find that out of all the weird gimmick stuff I've done, I've said it before, but like my soul level 1 guy was the least fun to play, just because your options are so limited.
Yeah.
And this way, it's like with 40 soul levels, like you're doing pretty good. Like you can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
And
if you start as a cleric, I mean, you can do some weird faith stuff in there if you really wanted to.
Yeah. So this is the kind of the first area where you have the variety to kind of like a nice perfect storm of variety of builds you can bring here, and then also really amazing geography for it. Yeah. Anne Orlando would be next, which is also a pretty fun area for this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you can't invade the first bonfire there in that huge open area right by it. Would be a perfect spot for like a fight club. But unfortunately, you can't do any invading or summoning right there. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to go down to the bridge to the bridge where the gargoyles are. That's where I've gotten most of my action, both in invading sinners and also doing the Dark Moon Seance Ring or whatever it is, where you invade Dark Anne Orlando.
Since we're finally here, do you like Dark Anne Orlando at all?
No, I don't. Yeah. It's really bland.
I don't either. Kind of a leading question. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Conceptually, it's great. I don't think it's very fun to invade.
No,
exactly.
Well. Okay. So not the terrain notwithstanding. Okay. You're gonna find people who are expecting you, who know that you're there. So it becomes more of like a dueling kind of scenario, which is fine if you're looking for a fair fight. However, kind of a lot of the texture of Dark Souls PvP comes from just kind of either catching people off their guard or people who are kind of like minding their own business, but are kind of like equipped but not quite like mentally in the space to fight. Like you're finding people who are actively seeking you out here. And it's like a different crop than you're going to find in Upper Blighttown, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody hangs out in Blighttown looking for it to be invaded.
Right.
It's a little bit unfortunate too because it's so cool. Like diegetically it's so neat. The idea of somebody like, oh, cool, I stumbled upon killing Gwendolyn, and then just getting tons of other players punishing them for that.
Yeah.
Like, if that actually surprised anyone, it would be badass as hell. Like, oh shit, I did that, and now I'm constantly being hounded by, by other players. Like, but everyone's just expecting it, so it doesn't matter. But like the first time it happened, it's really, must have been really cool.
Yeah, the thing about being surprised is it only happens that first time.
Yeah, to anyone though. That's one of the things about the internet. Is like any given experience can only surprise one human being.
Right.
Like we are no longer separate people. Like we just have this collective hive knowledge.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun to be had, like invading inside the Orlando Palace, like around the spiral staircase and stuff. That's a lot of fun. Again, we're at the point where people have a lot of sin, but yeah, if you're outside, it's relatively bland.
Talking about invasion spawn points, Solare's bonfire. If you invade from there, you spawn like kind of at the end of that hallway, which is a pretty decent spot to catch people. But if you walk onto the ledge on the outside, like where you drop down from the archers, you actually invade kind of at the top where the archers are. So if you really want to be a dick, you grab your great bow and you hang up there with the archers, and you can have a lot of fun.
I've definitely seen some videos of that, which like that I didn't quite get that dicky. Even if you're not with the arrows, like just doing that thing where you stand at the top with the shield, that would be bad enough. Like, even if I just stood up there with my grass crest shield and just kind of blew toxic and just harried people, like any distractions at that point, I don't want. I liked this was one of the first areas where I was able to like do nice things, because I figured like if I'm already killing somebody, like helping them through PvE is fine. So I like opened up shortcuts, every time I found one on my way. Like, why not? This person hasn't opened up the door. Let's go ahead and give them a little bit of a leg up, and would drop things for people. But I was always, I didn't want them to challenge the boss before I can get to them. I didn't want them to backstab me while I was in my inventory, because I don't have those lightning quick inventory reflexes yet. So I would try to drop things for people after I killed them, and would sometimes fuck up the amount. So I was dropping like insane rewards for people. Like I would kill somebody in an honorable duel and be like, well, here's 7 Titanite chunks, for this, and it was like just totally on accident. Like I just ended up giving them way more than. Well,
you're gonna feel real bad because when they spawn, those items aren't in their world anymore.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Well,
in fact, you might have just put a vagrant in there, but it's okay.
That's more than likely. Like if you accidentally dropped 99 of something, you probably just made a vagrant in somebody's world.
Oh hey. Yeah, haha. It's if like once you go down the path to evil, even your attempts at good are corrupted.
No such thing as a light touch.
I didn't know about the permanence of items. Like I thought that was. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Okay, if you go through a loading screen, not a loading screen.
Well,
any item that's on the ground, like if you try to pick something up and you already had too many of it in your inventory, like that'll disappear through a loading screen. So,
well, I apologize to anyone listening.
Yeah, you were out there promoting our fucking show and then doing this dick shit.
Yeah, and it worked. Everyone was really nice about it. Yeah, if anybody's listening, Bretzel Krumlow is me on Windows Live.
Bretzel Krumlow.
Yeah, Bretzel Krumlow. It's my pseudonym name. Bretzel, and I told you, like, hey, I dropped you something cool. I wasn't lying. I just
what a dick.
Yeah.
I dropped you something cool,
really
but
nice thing that you can't have.
You didn't find it.
You would have got 7 Titanite chunks. You would have got every really good upgrade material. I think I dropped a slab for somebody when I got it. Like I didn't need it.
It would have made all the difference in the world.
After this podcast, I'm going to go shoot down relief helicopters over Africa. Nope, gets it.
There's jerseys from the team that lost the Super Bowl in there, but you got to get there before they burn up. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, jeez. Here's your water. That's full for you.
Here's your water, and there's 1 life straw for your entire village.
There's 1 life straw.
Anyway, Anne Orlando.
Do you like the invasion point right in front of Ornstein and Smo? because you can catch a lot of people who have Solaire, which like I really like fighting people when they have an NPC with them, like a computer NPC with them, because they're not too tough, but also it's more fun.
Rather than a human NPC?
You're a human phantom.
Okay, cool.
You know what I meant.
I know what you meant, but I don't know. You've left yourself
It's
vulnerable.
still fun to make fun of you when you say it wrong.
Yeah, it's very rare that I'm not the one who's in that situation, Gary. So I have to relish it.
Yeah. But you can catch people there, and you're at the point. You're at like a choke point where they cannot pass. Which I liked a lot too.
Yeah.
If you weren't searching for them, we don't have it in our notes here, but I ended up having a lot of fun doing Painted World stuff.
Oh yeah.
Did I completely get Painted World in here? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah, man, if you can invade someone down in that basement, like anytime, I feel like anytime you can invade people when there are bone wheels, like you're doing pretty good.
It's God's work.
Yeah, the Dark Souls gods are smiling on you.
Cole, if you're still doing PvP, a lot of my Dark Moon days was spent in the Painted World.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
Huh. Yeah, I'm roughly the right level for it. I probably have to boost up maybe about 5 to be competitive, but yeah.
That's another fun, weird level that has lots of unique geometry where the whole area is open for PvP. It's not enclosed in any way. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it has the NPC, invader. Mm-hmm. So you can, and as far as like invaders that have tool sets that are fun to invade along, like Xanthus King Jeremy is really cool because he just does area effect magic stuff. So you kind of have that, in the last episode where we ended up talking about, the Battle of Stoicism, how cool I thought the idea of like making a party is, having two characters to shore up one another's weaknesses. And he's the only NPC that, I guess that's not true because Chester is kind of like a thief character, like a dex range character, but teaming up with somebody who like could shore up your weaknesses. So if you're a big strong knight and you team up with this mage, like that's pretty neat, thematically.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah.
And I also had, in this area, people, this was the first time I had people requesting to do, like wanted to do, rematches. And we never were able to connect again. As much as we tried.
That's like the weird thing where like just like how does that even work? It's just still random chance.
Yeah, well, it's a pool thing that Jeremy was talking about. So you have the pool of people you're connected to, and then the pool of people who meet your PvP criteria. Mm-hmm. So it is limited, but with both of us being, with him being invadable and me trying to invade, like he just got invaded by other people, instead of me, and it reset his invasion counter. I don't think he had the finger thing, but that finger thing is really important for this whole subset.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly difficult, like, if you just wanted to duel somebody, like, if you don't have... And you get the Dried Finger and the Red Soapstone in Painted World, which is kind of weird thematically, but, it's surprisingly difficult to set up, like, I just want to fight that dude, until they introduce the arena in the DLC, so it's kind of weird. Which fits into Dark Souls, like, vague and asymmetrical multiplayer stuff anyway, so...
So I'm having this weird moment right now. So I'm replacing the hard drive in my laptop because it's about ready to crap out. It's giving me a lot of problems. It's real slow with a bigger one. I'm going to be able to do a Windows partition on my actual thing. I might pick up Dark Souls on the Steam sale.
Do it
and play it on PC there. Yeah,
they're just going to continue to mod cooler things into it.
Yeah, that's my thinking.
Hey, Cole, I don't know if you know this, but if you send a PvP story into my blog, I might read it, and you might be eligible to win a copy.
I want somebody who like isn't affiliated. Like we're affiliated at this point. Like somebody else deserves that free copy.
Yeah, we don't need to give give us anything, Jeremy. That would be awesome, and I feel like the connectivity fix is pretty much worth it all alone. Because that Double Dragon playthrough is really fun. Like, just doing a co-op playthrough of the game is too easy, but giving yourself restrictions and trying to balance it by having two people is, like, really fun.
Yeah.
I had the chance to use the connectivity fix stuff the other day, and I was amazed compared to the 360, because I'm summoning people all the time on the 360. Like, people, hey, can you help me with this? Or, hey, can you give me that? Or can we trade for this? But, man, on the PC, it's instantaneous. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's late breaking news there.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
And this
I'm one of
is
those weirdos that owns it for all 3 systems, so you should not ask me my opinion about this at all.
I'm not asking for your opinion. I made up my mind. I just need to wait for it to go on sale for more than 50% off.
Yeah. Well, it's a $750.
It's $750
do that right now.
Not right now. No, it's $14.99 right now.
$750 right now.
No, it was $750 2 days ago.
It's $750 again.
I'm looking at it right the fuck now.
I get mad. But I'm pretty sure it's
like I bought it yesterday for $750. I bought those 2 copies yesterday.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it still had the yesterday deals up though, and I thought it was $750.
Oh no, he's totally right. It's $14.99. But I am glad that we had that outside confirmation because we can't trust Kole.
Apparently.
Well, the thing is, my mistake was trusting Kole not to have Steam open while we're recording. So now we can trust Kole. We just have to trust him for certain things. But anyway, yeah, it'll go $750 again. Yeah. They'll do their like final run up money grab.
Yep.
At the end, and they'll trot out all their greatest hits. Mm-hmm. This is mostly where my PvP experience is going to drop off, not for lack of trying. I tried to do most of these other areas after here, but had limited luck. New Londo, Kole and Jeremy, can you talk to that? Because I definitely tried to invade here and just couldn't get anybody.
Yeah, I had difficulty here more than in the other late game areas. Yeah, like I had one kind of abortive attempt, and that was about it.
Yeah, most of my experience, I've done some invading here, but it's in one of those situations where I'm sitting there waiting to get summoned to fight the 4 kings, and to be a Sunbro, and I get kind of bored. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna invade, and you come across somebody, and then you kill them, and they're like, can you please help me against the 4 kings? Yeah. It's like I mentioned earlier. There's not like I really always wanted the opportunity to like chase a host alongside the dark raids and like get like 5 or 10 of them chasing a host at one time. It's never presented itself to me. You always end up meeting them at the very beginning of the level or on that little bridge or in the pool right there after you drop down for the shortcut. So
yeah, there's no real convenient place to like summon in from or to invade from either. Like, most of these places that we've talked about have had a bonfire where you could just kind of like, camp around and, whatnot. Whereas with this, all of the bonfires are external. So it's really hard to get a predictable place, right?
Yeah, ironically, the home of the Dark Wraiths is the riskiest place to be a Dark Wraith because there is a little bit of a walk to get your souls. Like if you happen to lose as an invader, like you have to go and get those souls from wherever you invaded from. So
yeah.
So that's where I come down on that.
Most of my like quote unquote PvP experience here was just me killing time, like trying to do it in that first area with all the hollows where they're all just kind of the hollow lounge, and just trying to kill time. So I would like kick them and practice parrying them and one handing. Like I didn't have the strength to do it, so I would do the like one handed parrying them.
Nice,
which did without the strength. So I just did I would, parry and riposte hollow and do like 60 damage, and have to keep doing it to kill them.
I mean, unless you're explicitly seeking help from somebody you know is going to be, going with you to the 4 kings, there's less than no reason to be human in this area.
Partly, probably also because the NPC help you can get is such garbage too.
Right.
So, like, if everybody was getting Beatrice, like, you'd do a lot better.
Yeah.
But nobody's getting Beatrice.
Yeah, she's useless about 75% of the time. So.
Yeah, the other 25% of the time, she's fighting the Moonlight Butterfly. So.
I was going to say the other 25, she's getting stuck with the ghost up the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or giving you her cool trench coat. So.
Oh, true.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So
I guess the next section...
Yeah, and I didn't do any of this. Like, I just didn't have time to go here, so I didn't try.
I had a lot of fun in the catacombs, mostly because you're dealing with people who are likely already overwhelmed by the skeletons.
As well you do.
Yeah, as you do. Yeah. Tomb of the Giants, not so much. Just because of the visibility and movement kind of standpoints. Like, I would get in here and people would, panic and then just get killed by the dog skeletons. Yeah.
The interesting thing about invading the Tomb of Giants is that you can't see other phantoms' light sources.
Right.
So
that is interesting.
Yeah, like, so if I'm, as an invader, because I did a weird Solaire gimmick, like an insane Solaire gimmick for a while, where he's He's got the sunlight maggot on, and he's just going crazy and just chasing after people. But apparently they couldn't see my light source from that, so I always thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah. That is weird. The one of the things, the reason why, and this is only slightly, I guess it's related because it's a PvP spell essentially. Have you guys seen the chameleon form for Tomb of the Giants?
No.
It's rad. It's a giant skull, and you just become the entire skull and cruise around as you do in Chameleon. And it looks.
I cannot
really cool.
believe I have hundreds of hours in this game. I cannot believe I didn't know that. Like, I've never used that. Are you serious? You turn into a skull?
Yeah, I looked it up.
That is crazy.
I was curious about it, and I was thinking about Chameleon because I want to do that sorcerer build, and I was like, I definitely want to do some PvP and fuck around with Chameleon, and I was like, what have I not? And there's a guy on YouTube called the Sunlight Blade, who does mostly like top 10 stuff, and like I like it. Okay, it's not my favorite, but he did early on in his YouTube career. He did here's what the Chameleon form is for every area in the game. And it's like a 5-minute video. It's really cool. In the Great Hollow, even though there's no PvP, Great Hollow and Ash Lake, you turn into a mushroom. Like not one of the not an animate one, but the same textures and stuff. So you could look like one of those little mushrooms. And here you're a skull.
I can't believe I've never tried that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it would be as far as blending in because there aren't that many giant skulls down there. There's like 6. But it just looks like it'd be really intimidating.
Yeah,
and it looks like it's like essentially like Pac-Man coming after you. Like it's a human-sized skull just kind of with its mouth open, like moving towards you. Like, gotta do it.
Spooky skeletons, man.
Spooky
to
skeletons.
give credit where credit's due, that weird skip I mentioned for the depths actually came from the Sunlight Blades YouTube channel. So.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Like I don't mean to disparage that guy. Like top 10 entertainment kind of stuff. Like I get a little worried of, but the rest of that guy's stuff has been really good.
Yeah.
So. Do a gimmick build based on turning into a skeleton. Do some videos, Jeremy. I haven't seen it, like the skull invading in Tomb of the Giants.
Dual bone shields.
Yeah,
I could probably do something.
Yeah, dark set, dual bone shields, like just all bones all the time.
Like the super skinniest, palest, like body, completely naked, dual bone shields.
Yeah.
We could do this.
Bone bros.
Yeah.
Bone bros.
Yeah. So Demon Ruins. I never had a lot of success here.
Yeah,
I've invaded a few times, but because people, for whatever reason, are usually human. I guess they summon help for Fire Sage, but it's just nothing spectacular. Like the area is relatively small, and it's usually either people are going to fight you or they're going to instantly die to the environment.
Yeah.
I was surprised how deep you have to get into the level before you're able to invade. So like you can't in that area with the Taurus demons, the field of Taurus demons. You can't invade there. You can't until you get to the stairs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the second bonfire.
Yeah, like near there. So that was frustrating to me because I like the idea of fighting somebody on this lava field full of Taurus demons. But
another area of the game that would be an awesome fight club location. Where you
had,
2 or 3
and
people
especially.
going.
Like don't clear out the Taurus demons, but stay far enough away from them so it just looks like an audience.
or make it like the governor's arena.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna like if you venture too far to one side, club to the face.
Yeah, exactly. Like and just a chain pull of Taurus demons. I only got a couple of invasions here, but in the notes here you have Lost Izalith. It's just kind of ha 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 ha. But I ended up I had some good luck with Lost Izalith.
Did you really? I didn't think anybody would ever be human here. So I mean, I've attempted to invade. I don't think I've ever had a successful invasion here.
I have no idea why it worked, but it definitely did. I don't know if they were people because I've seen people online summon help for a Bed of Chaos to just kind of do it in one try, which seems crazy to me, but I've seen people do it, and it makes sense. Like you can send Phantom to each side, if you want to do that. But this was a real fun teaming up because I was dressed more or less like the Sister of Chaos and could team up with her and Kirk, which was really awesome. Like at the top of the stairs, and you can if you invade from the right there in that first area, kind of near the Bed of Chaos bonfire, you end up with a really good position to hide at the top of those stairs. So I ended up having to be pretty patient to wait for it. And a couple times I got impatient, and they would usually be by the first bonfire. So this is another big open area. And it's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to re-equip the orange shard ring. But twice it worked where I could wait and ambush with all the big group of NPCs. And that was really...
You probably scared the hell out of some poor dude.
Yeah, because you're already expecting like something, there. And yeah, that was really a lot of fun. I also had a couple of good, if you invade from the other side, like where Solaire goes insane. If you invade from there, that might actually be where I'm thinking of. That's where you end up in the really good hiding spot near the Sister of Chaos, is if you invade from where Solaire goes insane. So
interesting. I didn't know that. I've never spent much time invading over there.
Yeah. Moving on to the Duke's Archives, this was where I had probably my best luck of the different areas. A lot of fun in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was the last area. I did a little bit of Darkroot, Forest Chaos, but this was the last area of the endgame areas I ended up spending very much time on. I had a really great defeat in this area where I died running up to this guy was at the area where the clams were on the ledge, and I was running across the invisible bridge towards him because he had like some real kind of newbie armor, like markings and everything like that. Like I kind of thought like he was a new player, and I was trying to rush him, try to do this intimidating thing, and he forced me like right off the ledge, like without missing a beat. And then I sent him a thing, and I'm like, well played. And he's like, yeah, this is my, like, I'm fighting Seath for the first time. Wish me luck. Like, he was just like this new player. I'm like, well done. Bravo, sir.
Good.
Like, you got me real good.
I dropped you something back there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that too. And,
if you go back to the bonfire, there might be something on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah. Might be a vagrant. Yeah.
And then I also kept trying to clambush people here. But people kept bringing help. Like I would try to clambush, and I put it on Facebook, like, who are bringing 2 phantoms for Seath? Like, I just kept getting a 3v1, and I'm not good enough to beat, to win in 3v1. So. And
it's such a difficult situation, like especially if you can't control the host healing ability, it's almost impossible, because he'll just every single time, like he would do that one last backstab on a phantom to get him down to the last bit of health, and the host will back off and just S. Yeah.
Even though, like, as far as if you're going to have, like, the environmental hazards on your side, this, like, clutch of clams is, like, really powerful.
Yeah.
Because if you can kind of trick them into, like, aggroing, 2 or 3 of them at once, they kind of chain pull. And you can get, like, during one of the fights, it was 3, a human and 2 phantoms versus me and, like, 6 clams. Which was awesome, like this kind of like like clamomancer kind of thing, and
clamomancer.
But he still ended up winning because Clambassador. That was the name of my old zine as this kind of Clambassador, and he still ended up winning though because of what you're talking about. He just backed up, let his 2 greatsword wielding cronies fight off the clams. And I could just kind of get in some pot shots and toxic him, but he just kept healing them from safety. Yeah. So
I should have taken my Dex character down there and been the clam burglar.
Yeah,
clam burglar.
No coming back from that. So
yeah, no coming back. Yeah, I had a real hard time when I did it in the actual Duke's Archives finding where people were too.
Yeah, that was kind of the fun for me. Was to look, because people in my experience, what I saw, like people struggle with the crystal hollows and the channelers and whatnot. So yeah, it's a matter of like just kind of like looking for their health bar and like, okay, we got to be at the 3rd level. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the areas that's a lot of fun to chase people down, just because they're the verticality, and it's just so bizarre and weird how you can move around. And if you start invading enough, you get to that point where you kind of know where they are on the bridge, so you can manipulate to be above them when they put the bridge below, so you can do a drop attack. Like you can do some really fun stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if there are any like real serious ways to fuck people over with turning those bridges. Like the kind of chronology of the ways you have to turn the bridges. If you can I'm trying to think of the order you have to do in it. Whether they can go turn the first bridge and then you turn the second one before they do so, or something like that, where you can trap them. It feels like there's got to be a way to do that.
You can. The difficulty is just getting ahead of them in order to get to that second bridge, because the way it's positioned at first, you have to turn the first one in order to get access to the second.
Yeah.
So it's easy if you kind of run ahead of them, or you get them involved with some mobs or something, and then you can kind of screw with the bridges with them. That would actually be really funny.
That's the way my mind works now. So next up, we have the forest.
Yeah.
Which I just invaded a couple times and got killed by multiple people every time who were expecting it. And then I definitely did a lot, but
yeah, I've spent many hours just recently with that quality build I mentioned at the beginning, invading in the forest, and it's rough out there.
He said with a 1,000-yard stare.
But I mean, I think you guys have covered this before when you were talking about just on the main podcast on the regular episodes. Like if you invade here, it's 2v1, 3v1. It's really difficult unless you happen to come in with another invader to kind of even the odds. And I got hate mail for that the other day. Me and another invader killed a guy. And he was like, what is that, man? 2v1? And I'm like, we're in the forest. What are you were trying to summon somebody. What is wrong with you?
There are no rules.
Anyway.
Yeah.
One of the things with the forest that's fun, though, that I really like is I feel like I kept having experiences where people would forget about those ledges. So I lost a lot in kind of chaos fights. But people were not thinking about where they were in relation to ledges. Like it's such a big open area that they weren't imagining it. So I definitely got a couple of people back off, a ledge, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were doing that thing where they're trying to back off to heal, so you kind of angle yourself so that they're holding back, they're going straight towards the ledge.
Yeah, you kind of steer them like that.
You're reverse kiting them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
I find it very weird that if you're a forest hunter, when you are successful, you get like some upgrade material or whatever, but one of the things that you get is the pendant. So like right now in my inventory, I think I have like 50 something pendants that are just, and to be one of those weird like lore items that people were so concerned about, and just people to hand them off to weird forest hunters. Like that's a weird troll from the game designers.
Yeah. I think if you get 99 of them, if you get 9 stacks of 99, Eris eats out Shala. So
I was going to make the exact same joke.
Okay,
like almost to the same degree. I wasn't going to bring up Shala because that's your bag, not mine.
That's my bailiwick.
Yeah, but I was just about to make the exact same joke. Yeah. Yeah, and this is this is also when I look at PvP videos online where I see all the hacking going on, like a lot of hackers. I've been exceptional. I have not run into any hackers except for that one that I told the story where he cursed Solaire. I don't know what it is. Like I'm just like really lucky. I ran into a friend of the show, Bob Mackey, and he was talking about how this happened to him again, and he got one of those like mega hacks, like level drain, teleport you to the abyss hacks. And I guess there's a guy out there as a kind of a public service announcement.
He's all over my blog. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't remember what is his name is like. His tagline is "Back up your saves." What's the guy's name, Jeremy?
It's something with an F, like "Fear Me" or
yeah.
I cannot remember this dude's name.
It's Fun Time is Over. is the guy's name. Fun Time is Over. Back up your saves, and then he changed his name recently, right?
I think I saw on the Something Awful boards that he changed his name, and I was trying to go through the thread real quick to find it, but if I come across it again, and I'll just send it to you guys, and you can put it in the show notes. It was a weird name that he changed it to, but all of his voicemails and stuff that he leaves are like this weird anime Metal Gear Solid. It's crazy. If you go on my blog and go to the tag post and go to Fun Time Is Over, I probably have like 4 posts from him, and then I just stopped posting stuff because it was getting ridiculous.
Is he the beer malevolent AI?
He's the beer bandit of Dark Souls. I don't know if it was worth interrupting you to say that, but I'll stand by it.
What was I going to say? So he's a real dick, and I'll include a video from him in the show notes. I was just like, when I was trying to figure out his name, I found a video, and it's incredible. Like, he hits you, steals all your humanity, paralyzes you, and then switches to a weapon that he one-hit curse kills you and teleports you to the abyss while draining all your levels. Like, it's incredible. It's like how Rasputin died. Like, it's like shot, stabbed, drowned, choked, poisoned.
Cole, you're on the 360, right?
Yeah.
Have you encountered any of this PvP stuff? Have you encountered any hackers or like infinite health, infinite stamina stuff, or anything like that?
I have been blessed. Nothing like that at all.
Wow. You guys are lucky. I had 2 infinite health guys today. It just would not take any damage from me at all.
How do you deal with that? I mean, do you try to ledge them, or do you, and kill yourself?
The first thing you do is switch to a bleed weapon, and hope that they haven't figured out how to, because some people haven't, how to prevent bleed buildup.
Yeah.
And if you get enough bleed hits, sometimes you'll see the crit finally, and they'll come up with 65,000 whatever HP damage on the top of their stuff. But yeah, you just have to take them to the ledge and hope that you can get lucky. Me and another guy spent, 8 or 9 minutes in an invasion just trying to kick this dude towards a ledge, and eventually he was just able to kill us because we
attrition,
limited spots to heal, and he has infinite health. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So I haven't gotten that. See, there's a very distinct level of evil that I'm at with this. Like, I would never hack. I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will do jerky things that are in the game.
You're Liquid Snake, not Ocelot.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Lawful evil.
Yeah.
So, and then next are the DLC areas, which I also didn't spend any time in.
Yeah, no, I didn't, strangely enough, even though I know that they're PvP hotspots. I've had enough indirect PvP down here, but...
I've gotten killed enough by invaders. I don't want to ever go back in there again.
Kind of, yeah. Thank you for translating, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I think you guys talked a bunch about this on the most recent podcast. I don't really think there's a whole lot to cover here besides, the township being just basically like the Burg nowadays. If you want to, if you're at PvP level 120 on the consoles, 100 on the PC, and you want to fight a dude that is ready to fight you, go to the township and invade or hang out, and you will get invaded. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That makes sense for it. I think this would be a fun, if you weren't doing those kind of duels, if you could actually just kind of naturally invade here, it'd be a real fun area to stalk somebody through, because the geometry after that first dueling area in the township is really interesting, and has kind of those different branching paths, and there's a lot of hazards with that dark, the dark sorceresses.
It is a lot of fun to when you find someone that's going to get the pendant or all that dark magic in that little side area. Because it's the way the levels are done, you can kind of get above them real easily and do a dropping attack or knock them off of a ledge, or all the corners that there are on narrow walkways. It's a lot of fun when you actually find somebody to chase down, or it's not there for PvP. But I guess fortunately, unfortunately, depending on what you're looking for, 85-90% of the time, it's going to be people kind of hanging out and waiting for you.
Yeah. So this is the thing. When I invade people, I want to be like an element that was put there in the design, right? I want to be like Leroy. I want to be like Chester. I want to be, just somebody. I don't know. It just this is something that is thoughtful right there, where as opposed to being kind of this force of nature, oh, we're here because everybody's here, kind of thing. Just because that seems more textured. It seems a little bit more interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the crazy cool thing about Dark Souls and the way the multiplayer works is there is that division. You can spend time tweaking your build and getting it just right and practicing it and figuring out all the weird dead angles and reverse roll back stabs and all of that weird technical stuff. Or you can just invade someone and terrorize them and chase them down, and maybe not terrorize them, but chase them down and have a real weird fight where nobody knows exactly what to do and it's just desperate. I think that's what attracted me to the game. They both got their merits, and I can totally see preferring the more natural PvP.
Yeah.
I would say so far that's probably where I'm at as well. I might get into it enough to where I start getting serious about it and treating it technically, but it'd be weird if I did, because I've never done that with fighting games either. I've never gotten into frame counting and stuff in Street Fighter and gotten really serious about that stuff. So I like the way that this game allows for both, which I think is fairly unique. I mean, it was essentially your point, but I can't think of another game that does that.
Yeah, me either.
Allows for both experiences.
I don't even think Demon Souls really does it because the way the restrictions were on the invasions, the way I understand it, it was kind of hard to invade people. So I don't know.
And I've never done any PvP stuff. I've only interacted with another human player once in Demon Souls, or twice rather. Once for the really awesome boss fight, and then once to get help in 1.4 briefly. But the
You couldn't kill that dragon either?
It wasn't too... I got frustrated with the 3 phantoms in the beginning. And it was at the end of a long play session, and I was trying to make some... And I that's never a good way to play any Souls game, where you're just I just need to get through this. And that means so that's why I did. And, we got through those 3 phantoms, which don't respawn, or...
They don't.
They don't respawn. So I managed to get through them and then died a little bit later in that tower right after that.
Yeah.
And then saved. And I was like, this achieved its purpose. But
yeah. I'm similar. My experience is similar, except I summoned for Penetrator.
Yeah. I guess I summoned the NPC for Penetrator, but not the...
that's what I meant. Yeah. So, yeah.
Who can you summon for Penetrator? I don't even...
what's his name? Blade Sieran or something like that? Not Blade
Sieran.
Bjorn.
Bjorn.
Yeah, Bjorn. Yeah. Who's great. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah, totally.
He goes back to sleep when you find him. Yeah. It's he's been in prison. There's nothing you've been doing but sleeping. I believe I'll sleep here for a while. Lazy sack of shit.
Wait to get back to Demon Souls again. I'm kind of already planning out the build I'm going to go through. I've only played through it once, so I'm really excited to go through it again.
Yeah, I've got to decide how I'm going to play through with my next guy.
Yeah, it's great. I really like that game, and hearing Kole talk about playing through it for the first time has made me tempted to go through again. Even though and we'll talk about this at length for probably about all of fall. You're way more I feel like because of their upgrade system, you're way more limited in what kind of builds you can do. In that, so there's just a couple builds that are not huge pains in the ass to create, and that's really limiting the replayability. So as I've gone through Demon Souls 3 times now, I think, and as opposed to Dark Souls, that I've done 6 times all the way through, probably 6 or 7, just because there's so much variety to Dark Souls, and Demon Souls it's much harder. So
kind of as a miniature appendix to this appendix, you in the notes here, Jeremy, you have Ash Lake. Why can't I invade here? Sad face.
And again, the perfect spot for a fight club or just a really epic duel with 2 people and the chanty music and they just totally walled it off. It's really, really sad.
That's one of 4 areas that you can't invade in: Ash Lake, Great Hollow, Drake's, and Firelink, right?
Yes.
Okay. The Asylum.
Oh, yeah, I guess the Asylum, too, yeah. So 5.
Because when you go back for the Stray Demon, they don't want you to summon or invade there.
Okay. When I say Drakes, I mean Valley of the Drakes.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is weird, too. And I could see invading there being super fun, mostly because the footing is so tricky. Those ledges are really steep. And knowing where the block... It would look really cool. Do people do anything similar down by, the Hydra? At least having kind of a waterfront.
I have never seen that.
I've never seen any PvP in the basin either. That might be another.
You can get down there because you can do the skip, but I don't know that if you can actually summon, if you can't use those multiplayer items down there, if you'd have to go down there and take the ladder down and all that. Well, you can't take the ladder. You'd have to jump off and take the ledge down. I don't know. I don't know, Gary. That'd be an interesting thing to find out.
I've never seen any PvP stuff down there.
If you invaded at the basin bonfire?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting idea to me. I wonder if that would be because I can see down there by the waterfall and stuff that being a cool PvP arena, where you find Dusk and where you find Manus. Everybody has
interesting just to see who would come in with the rusted iron ring to try to get ahead and try to trap people, and it would make it kind of an interesting environment to see. It could affect people's builds, which is something that doesn't happen in Dark Souls PvP a lot, where you have to plan ahead.
Yeah, which makes me think they probably didn't. Which means you probably can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Jeremy, talk to us a little bit about the little contest you had going. Because we've got
it's nothing big. With the Steam sale, I picked up a couple of copies of Dark Souls for the PC, and I put it on the blog, and I think you guys put it on the Facebook page, that if you submitted a question or any kind of PvP story, we'll pick 2 random people that submitted stuff, and read the stuff on the air if you guys have time and allow it and all that stuff. And then whoever wins, quote unquote, whoever 2 people we pick will get a copy of Dark Souls PC, or if they already have one, I told them I would try to figure something out for points on Xbox or whatever. We can figure that out. And I got a few responses that I think are worth reading.
Cool. So we'll just read these as we usually do.
Okay.
For PvP stories. I'll go ahead and start the first one here. Urban Meadows asks, or says, I was invaded underneath the bridge where the Drake sits. He used Chameleon to turn into a barrel, so I kicked him off the ledge. I don't know. It was pretty funny at the time.
So just kicking the barrel off like you're fucking Elliot Ness.
Let's get out of here, Z.
The barrel is the most common chameleon object.
Yeah.
Like you turn into that. And then there's like 10 different kinds of vases. But you end up doing a barrel like really frequently.
Yeah.
So.
Who's next?
Jeremy, do you want to go with Edward?
Sure. Edward submitted, once I went forest hunting and then 3 gankers fired Darkbead, Pursuers, and Dark Orb at me. Which, I have to say, Edward, is a very familiar experience and I can sympathize. Dark magic on its own isn't necessarily very difficult to avoid. Once you get the timing for the rolls down, Darkbead is kind of easy and it really opens them up for backstabs. Pursuers, you can basically just roll through Pursuers and it'll hit the ground and you won't have to worry about anything. But if you have several people firing that stuff at you at the same time, it becomes impossible to navigate.
Yeah, and they're all they all kind of have different firing speeds too, so you're paying attention to a lot of different things. With Darkbead, and that's the one that fans out, right? The spread shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One. The thing that took me a while to get used to with that, I didn't really run into it until I got to the forest, but is it has a really low wind-up time. So it has like the kind of wind-up time that like combustion has, but it has like a lot more range than that. It's like super quick. So it definitely took me a little while to know to side roll, but it's kind of cool because it's the exact same thing you do when Manus does it. It's like the same. It's just that Manus has a way longer wind-up. Like his version is slower.
Mm-hmm.
Than,
Yeah. So here, Scotsman95 says, this is before I'd ever heard of honor duels, and in fact, it was my first PvP fight. I was approaching the gate in Dark Root Garden, the one that you used the crest on, when I was invaded. The guy just waited patiently at the end of the area. When he saw me approach, he bowed, and I followed suit. If you've ever seen one of those old samurai fights in a film, it played out something like that. So, he won, fair and square, since I had an impossibly shitty build. But what happened right after... But what happened right after he pulled my innards off of his sword really sticks in my head. The guy rolled off of a ledge right after I died, and when I spawned, I had a fuck ton of souls. Like, enough to go up 7 levels or something. Dude basically came in, kicked my ass, and gave me a bunch of souls for free. I have been infatuated with the Dark Souls community ever since.
That's interesting. Like the way if like the invader kills themselves, like, it counts as a victory for the host.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It's just like when you're phantoming, or if you're doing if you're a sunbroing for a host and you die, but then the host kills them right after, you still get the credit. It's almost that same kind of timing. Like if they kill themselves pretty quickly, you'll get. And I think they'll even leave a bloodstain, so I think you can collect that humanity that they leave as well.
Oh wow!
After you spawn back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. Dejected YOLO submitted.
YOLO.
I included this one even though it was Demon Souls, but if y'all, I mean, it's up to you guys.
No, that's
cool.
That's fine. He or she says, this actually happened in Demon Souls, and I'm not sure if that disqualifies me, but I don't know what that internet acronym
LDRC.
I don't really care, I believe. Okay.
Yep. I don't really care. I think it's funny and I want to share. I invaded someone 2-1, Stonefang Tunnel, and I'm certain I was their first invasion ever. Their first response to being invaded was to run back towards the Archstone. This person barely put up a fight, and I felt bad because he was essentially trapped, regardless whether he brought it upon himself or not. Anyways, I died, and as luck would have it, invaded his world again. I start running around Stonefang Tunnel trying to find this guy. I get to the fat official in the same, approximately same room as the dogs. On a whim, I decide to turn around and check the elevator. Sure enough, he decided to run down the elevator towards where the primeval demon would spawn. I'm not sure if he did not see me at the top of the elevator or realized he could not proceed, backed into a corner, but regardless, he rides the elevator up, I push him off, killing him. That time, I apologized.
This guy's just trying to live his life.
I only got invaded once in all of Demon Souls, and I tried to play in human form as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the one time I did, the guy was using a spear, and I was like, I think I know how to fight you. And like, I'll just block for a little while and then do a backstab. Like, that's pretty easy.
That's what I'm going to do for my next Demon Souls thing, is be human, because I've never spent any amount of time in Demon Souls human, really.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to have to do.
You get stocked up with ephemeral eyes pretty quick, too.
Yeah. I'm usually kind of, like, once I learned how to kind of game world tendency, I end up not being human because I always want to die in the Nexus. Mm-hmm. So I can get up to white and get those events. But maybe this time I'll try to do all the black world tendency events.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a another Something Awful member that did, I guess, a Let's Play of Demon Souls, and he, as appendix episodes, I guess you would call them, he'd like all of the special pure black world tendency and pure white world tendency events that happened throughout the levels, and I watched through some of those, and it's just, man, what a weird system and to put into that game. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It
is inscrutable.
I don't have any hope of ever seeing all those events.
It's actually, like, you can easily do it because if you kill yourself in the Nexus every time you become human,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't turn human other than that, you'll end up with enough ephemeral eyes to do the opposite at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty easy to do, like, if you're interested. But I've watched them all on YouTube, and there's only a couple of them that are that interesting. I feel like in kind of diligence to do some of them before we talk about the areas, because some of them do have kind of lore things. There's a couple of NPCs that are interesting that only appear
right
in Black World Tendency, but it's not that hard. It's just kind of tedious.
Right.
Like, killing yourself repeatedly in a world to bring it all the way from pure white down to pure black is just, it's just kind of tedious. Yeah. It's a clumsy system.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we'll talk about it.
Tedium?
It's more tedious though. They're on a trajectory. So hopefully Dark Souls 2 will be less so. This final comment is actually a question. Mike says, "What is the worst PvP build you've ever seen or can think of?"
Man, Mike sent this to me earlier this week, and I have thought about this question more than I've thought about my job this week. I do not have a good answer for this. Like, as has been shown on YouTube, several times over, you can pick the worst stuff that you would think are the worst weapons in the game, and you can be successful with it. That's kind of what makes Dark Souls. And even if you did a gimmick run, like, I'm going to do 99 resistance, like, well, that's still a soul level 1 run, and you can win at soul level 1. Like, you just soul level 100 instead of 1.
Right.
So I have no idea. Like, I guess if you just did a small upgrade in everything and you didn't kind of, I can't come up with the answer to this question, guys. I just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, worst is hard to define, right?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, like, a lot of these things that would be called worst are actually awesome because it's somebody intentionally giving themselves challenge or doing something fun as opposed to something that's more guaranteed to win. Mm-hmm. And since, I come at it more from that angle, like the PvP is for fun or it's part of that, kind of environmental part of the game thing that Kole was talking about, I tend to like those more. So, like, maybe they're objectively kind of shitty, from a success standpoint, but they're way more fun to watch and interesting even to fight against.
Because both sides are kind of have something to win and something to lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's just non-optimized. Like, I ended up not for this invasion build, but I was human in Orlando, and I got invaded by a dude with a whip in each hand.
Nice.
And he was just like a regular armor, but yeah, he was whip fest, and that was awesome. Like, it was just like, he was not doing that great. He was not doing very much damage to me, but he was hitting me with a big tail. It was really fun. So, like,
I really Guardian Whip.
Yeah, he had the Guardian Whip and the the Notch Whip in the left hand. Super great. Like, it was just like really fun. So the worst PvP build, I guess, in my mind, would just be like an attempt at a serious competitive one that was just suboptimal in some way. So you're not winning, you're playing shittily, your lack of imagination and lack of success is like the worst combination you can have.
I'm not gonna call out the dude's name because I don't want to be mean, but there was a guy that started streaming. This was months and months ago, and he wasn't very good at the game. It's part of the charms of streaming, right? And after his first session, he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a save editor, and I'm gonna make a soul level 120 PvP build, and I'm gonna go through the game, and I'm gonna open myself up to invasions, and it's just gonna be fun, stupid, goofy times." And the thing is, even with the save editor, if you give yourself 9 million souls or whatever, like that doesn't make you good at the game, and it doesn't even mean that you have knowledge of the game. It just means that you have power over the game. So he would do stuff like, I kind of came in the middle of the stream afterwards, and he had I think it was like a 40 dex, 30 faith build, but he was using a divine Yuki instead of a plus 15, and then for some reason he made the Avalon divine too, even though that doesn't do anything. So I guess that would be the worst. Like if you are utilizing weapons that don't even go with your stats, like maybe that's the worst thing ever. But I don't. Yeah. Even then, you have to go so far out of your way or just be so unknowledgeable about the game, and you almost wind up there by accident.
and you're not doing it to be fun. Like I can imagine a character doing that dressed up as Leroy and kind of role-playing as, like a misguided holy warrior, and it being kind of fun. Like if you're just doing it to self-impose a challenge, but just doing something incorrectly. Like Dark Souls has so much possibility space for intention. It's when you do not meet your intentions is kind of when I think it fails.
That's an excellent, yeah. So, Mike, I hope that answered your question, because otherwise I have no idea.
Cole, I'm sorry, Cole. I feel like me and Jeremy talked over. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, it's kind of pursuant to what you said, Gary. I value novelty, something that is impressive and goofy and weird and off the wall. I like that, not just for its own sake, but if it's effective and you can pull it off or give somebody a good show, that's really cool. I think that like the worst build is one that everybody knows how to counter. So like Giant Dad or, just somebody like, I've got a Chaos Uchi, something like that. Just where it's kind of like a dime a dozen, and it just kind of like it's a crowded, polluted field with that exact same build,
Yeah. That's probably a good point as well too. Just like the more somebody does something, like just to flip that question too, like what is the best, like what is the most fun or goofiest PvP build you've seen, or kind of thing that you've encountered in the game? Like I already said, my Whip Fest.
The fight clubs we've been running in the arena are you get a lot of exposure to some really random builds because people just bring their weird gimmicks out or whatever. And this one guy had a build that utilized the Moonlight Greatsword, but no sorcery, and then also had enough faith to do Wrath of God. So it was an MLGS WOGS build. That's what he called it. It's super effective. Like it's really, really effective, and low poise and all that. That's been one of the goofiest fun things. Probably the most effective one nowadays to me is that quality build that I mentioned earlier. Just because you can take advantage of so much scaling. You can, if your endurance is high enough, you can stack your poise, or you can strip all that down, and you have lots of stamina and the weapon stuff. Like if you have 40 dex, that right there puts you in all of the dex weapons, but you also have 27 strength, which puts you into two-handing most of the strength weapons. So you have a lot of flexibility in the build. You can use almost anything in the game.
Yeah.
The most fun I've probably had is one of my gimmick builds, like the Fat Tarkus, where I pin people up in Sins, or the Mildred Invasion I mentioned earlier. So. What about y'all? I know, Gary, you're all over YouTube. When you're watching these videos, what has been the most interesting thing that you've seen?
It's kind of a hard thing to search for. Like I look for this fairly frequently. Just kind of like fun, gimmick invasions, theme invasions. I appreciate anyone dressing up as an NPC. I really like. There was one that went around with a guy who was doing patches stuff, which I've seen before. But I like, you would end up in an area. He would send an Xbox message to you that asks if you're a cleric, and then the dialogue was all the same, and then put treasure on ledges and would just kill people by kicking them off, and then send them the dialogue from patches afterwards. It was really dedicated. That kind of stuff really tickles me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the highest effectiveness to boringness quotient, I guess it wouldn't be a high quotient because it's very effective and very boring. Just any kind of like great shield and spear build. Just like, yep, I'm going to stand here and hit you until you die because you can't do anything about it. Like that is at the opposite end of Patch's roleplay. But I've always had a very difficult time countering those.
Yeah, we talked about Giant Dad being shitty. I have a hard time with my no poise, like this PvP character. Like when I ran into characters that are similar to that, I'm just not good enough at the game, and one hit would stun lock me. So
yeah,
I'm not good enough to have one error and you're out.
Yeah. Usually with Giant Dads, you can block the first hit, and you just gotta. It's not an instant parry. You gotta wait a little bit until he starts to swing, and then you parry, and that should be the timing to get the riposte. Because most of those Giant Dad builds are just R1 spammers. So.
Yeah. I've never successfully parried in PvP, so
I got a couple in, and that is enough for me.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you have to be psychic.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
All right, well let's wrap it up here.
Okay.
Just a quick admin stuff. Jeremy, where can people find you online? Again?
My YouTube page is probably the best place to start. It's not ECEC. You can subscribe there if you want to, or not, or just come watch the videos and leave horrible comments. I also run the blog darksoulshaters.tumblr.com. If you can call posting a couple of images a day running a blog, I don't know. That's where we collect hate mail from the world of Dark Souls. PC version, 360, PS3, we don't care. You can submit it directly to the Tumblr site. You can email it to darksoulshaters@yahoo.com. Whatever you want to do, include whatever credit, and I'll post it on the blog. It usually takes me a couple of days to get it up there. Read through the blog. We've got voicemails that people have sent. We've got videos that people have sent. Lots and lots of images, and just the worst language and horrible things you could say to a person.
If you're uncomfortable reading the word faggot over and over and over, the way that say I am, it's not my favorite word, and it's there all the time.
Yeah,
as a guy that really strives to be like a PC dude in the deep south, like it's a rough time.
Yeah,
just running my own blog.
Yeah, but anthropologically, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
so it is.
It is that.
So,
and that's it. That's the two places to find me.
Yeah. Recommended. Kole and I, obviously we do this podcast. You can check us out on our other shows. Watch out for Fireballs, The Level, Those Damn Ross Kids, The Pitch, The Idea Valhalla.
Abject Suffering.
Abject Suffering, yep. Check that out. That's a bad game show that we really like. Mm-hmm. Next episode of this, we are looking at the endgame. We're wrapping up Season 1.
Yeah. So be sure to, if you have any final thoughts on the last areas of Dark Souls, either Ash Lake, Great Hollow, or the Kiln, and the final boss fight, Gwyn, send those to Duckfeed.tv/contact, and we will include those in the appendix.
Mm-hmm. And I want to make just a plea real quick, as I don't really want to use this as a way to do wrap-up thoughts on the game, because a lot of people I feel like who have submitted have kind of said their generalities about the game. Mm-hmm. So maybe limit your feedback kind of to the ending.
Yeah, true.
Like that last little bit. And a lot of people have a lot of theories about those endings, so there'll be plenty there. But and that I'm partially saying that to myself, is that I'm not going to just say the same things I've said about Dark Souls over and over and over. Yeah. Which I probably end up will. If you like, I do a Let's Play channel where I do a lot of Dark Souls stuff. YouTube.com/watch out for fireballs. And I'm also the CEO of SpookySkeletonPics.tumblr.com, which there's a trigger warning, does contain scary skeletons.
Yeah. The scariest.
Yeah, and sometimes they're just having fun, sometimes they are being scary, but they're always spooky. So I recommend that website.
Oh, these are some spooky skeletons.
I know,
I warned you.
It was literally, I'm not joking, it was me being dissatisfied with the skeleton aggregators online and deciding that I had a responsibility to do better. These are not very good. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah.
And if you have those stories, it's Duckfeed.tv contact. If you have those end of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
things.
Cool. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. Well, yeah. Until next week. Thank you again, Jeremy.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It was a
Yeah,
blast.
always a pleasure. And praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
The guilty pay the price.
Returning to your world with stolen humanity. Just a quick reminder that this episode is brought to you by Audible.com, and to get your free audiobook trial, download, trial of their service, everything's free. Go to audibletrial.com/bonfireside chat, audibletrial.com/bonfireside chat for your free audiobook download.
Hey, I think I heard you clearing your throat.
You did. How's it going, gentlemen?
It is going just fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Am I too loud, too low? What do I need to do?
You're just fine.
Perfect.
Loud and low. Coming at you. Loud and low.
That's my DJ name.
DJ Loud and low.
but it's Loudon, like Loudon Wainwright. Loud and low.
Yeah, loud and low.
So how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing just fine.
Yeah, okay. Just got off work. Have all my fans off, so I'm sweaty. That's all I'm doing. Sweaty.
Doing sweaty.
Yep. Doing the sweaty.
Maybe next time you could just say fine and just not get into the sweat.
I try not to lie with that question. If you asked, you're getting the honest answer.
Yeah.
The counterpoint to that I haven't started doing is to stop asking it. So like that's because I'll ask a clerk and stuff, and it's like if they're either going to lie to me or they're going to tell me the truth, and then I get depressed. And,
Either way,
yeah, there's none of those people are legitimately doing well. So I could try to cut down on social situations in which you're expected to lie and perpetrating them.
Seems like it'd be a pretty good policy.
Yeah,
it's funny you ask. I am doing so great. I just got approved for a boat loan.
Yeah.
What?
A boat loan?
Yeah.
Is that did you get is like a boat loan a unit of measurement, or is it like a loan for a boat?
No, it's yes,
like
a boatload of boat loans. I am recreating the Spanish Armada, but with pontoon boats.
Yeah,
my name is DJ Loud and Low, and I'm bringing you boatloads of boat loans. K91.1.
You're approved today.
You're approved.
Yeah, Loud and Low, you're approved. Have you been turned down for a boat loan? Of course you have.
Of course you have. It's obvious. We all have at least once in our lives.
I'm American, aren't I?
When I turned 17, my dad took me down to the bank.
Yeah, this child has no previous credit. Also, he knows nothing of maritime law. Like,
oh man. But that's
you
why
have to go out like a boss.
But that's why I've never beaten Dark Souls to begin with. Is because I waited, like I got to that. I was like, I'd better on my main guy. Like I'd better just go and live life to the hilt, right? And started taking everything that I could.
You guys have never watched Groundhog's Day. Like you're just gonna have to keep playing Dark Souls until you realize that that's not the way, right?
Dark Souls 2 ice sculpture is coming soon.
Yeah.
You know what? Like there are very few things that you could ever like accuse me of that I would get upset about, but never having watched Groundhog's Day.
What's worse, like never having watched it or not understanding the deep soul resonance?
Well, I live every day like it's Groundhog Day. I live every week like it's Shark Week. But in terms of Dark Souls, that's my fantasy escapist life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you have to eschew all the lessons you've learned from Bill Murray. So
such a deeply affecting movie, but that is for another time and place.
Yeah. For the record, I don't kill everybody.
Okay.
At the end of Dark Souls. Unless my guy would do that. My Dark Wraith character did, because he's an asshole. But my like super nice dude who is helping everybody out. He's, you know what? You get to have all my spare humanity, fair lady.
just leaving it? Oh, okay. No,
just
dropping it.
Yeah, just dropping it in front of her. Pick it up, NPC. But you can't.
That's probably way quicker than donating it to her.
Yeah, man, that's really high on my list of wanted improvements for Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, any submission of Covenant items, it just takes forever.
We'll talk about it in the episode, but my PvP character, I wanted the skull mask, like the dark set. Mm-hmm. And I just got so pissed and frustrated donating humanity for it. Like, it takes so long. It's why people don't... It's amazing that there's a shortcut in that game that skips all of the demon ruins, or almost all of the demon ruins in Lost Izalith, and no speedrunners do it because it takes too long just to do the administrative task part of it. Like, it would so clearly be the fastest way, and no speedrunners do it. So it's faster to do it the other way. Like, you can literally beat, what's his head? Centipede
Demon Fire Sage.
Yeah, Demon Fire Sage, Centipede Demon, go through the whole Dragon Blood areas, go through all of Lost Izalith faster.
In the time it takes to donate 30 humanity.
Yep.
Speaking of speedruns, I really enjoyed y'all's last episode on speedruns because I didn't really know anything about that. And I was looking on YouTube like I do every day for any new Dark Souls videos. And apparently there's been a new glitch that has been discovered. I don't know if you saw it. I know Gary, I know you're all over the YouTubes, but
I don't know about this one though.
It's in the depths, and I don't think it's going to be useful to speedrunners because speedrunners mostly skip the depths anyway. But if you know where the channeler is in the depths,
yeah.
So if you take a running start and you jump over that rail, like down into where the rats are, and then you quickly close out and reload, it loads you on top of the rail, which you normally can't get onto.
Right.
And that allows you to jump over the edge and into the gaping demon arena. Without, there's no fog door or anything. Like, you can just hang out down there.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Does it trigger the boss or no?
No, it didn't look like it. He didn't spend a lot of time on the video. Like, he just did it and then walked away, but it didn't look like it triggered the boss either. So
that's interesting.
It'd be really cool if you could summon down there and do fight clubs and stuff. But I doubt that you can.
Yeah, like if the boss, doing the boss fog is what makes it a non. Yeah, and you can't have the boss not killed. I wonder if it'd be useful in any way in all boss speedruns. Like if there's something you can do.
If it would trigger I wonder if you back through that door and then go if the fog door would appear if you try to go back.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of weird sequence breaking because I've making PvP characters. I've been using a save editor on the 360. Mm-hmm. There's just a checkbox for unlock all bonfires to warp to.
Oh, hey.
And you can warp to the chaos bonfire, the homegirl, fair lady chick. And if you walk back out, you can see through the hidden door, but you can't actually walk through. It's really weird.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are no other two-way hidden doors. There are no doors in Dark Souls that you can approach from either hidden walls you can approach from either side.
That you can get behind normally without using hacks, cheats or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have thought of that. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I've thought about doing just as a challenge playthrough, doing someone proposed it's the backwards boss. So at any given time that's available, you do the hardest boss. So it's something like Sif is the first boss, and then four kings, and you can do whatever you want, but you just kind of go through, and then the point is to have the Taurus demon be the last thing you fight before Gwyn. So
I guess it would be would it be Taurus demon and then Gwyn, or Pinwheel and then Gwyn?
Yeah, either or. I've never one shot Pinwheel. I can one shot the Taurus demon. So
yeah, that's true.
The next playthrough I'm going to do for the Let's Play, and I can't remember if I mentioned this on there, but I want to see if you can go through the game doing all magic. So never, and forgive me if I already said this, never attacking. So it's all about just managing how much ammo I have spell-wise, and just see if I can get through the game without hitting attack. I'll
There's
never punch.
A guy on the forums that has been streaming, because all I do is hang out in the IRC chat and watch Dark Souls streams. That's my life, besides work and the other life stuff.
It's good work.
But he did exactly that. He did a no shield magic run, and it was like at the end of the run when he beat Gwen, he had something because all he was leveling was a little bit of attunement. He did a little bit of vit and then vitality, and then the rest was magics or intelligence. So he was at like 80 something intelligence. But watching that, I watched him take on Manus, man, and I would not wish that on anybody. Totally shieldless. He didn't have the pendant. It was crazy.
Yeah.
God.
It would be tough. I just wanted to do it, and like if I'm not doing like speedrun stuff, to have it be about like figuring out which enemies are worth trying to kill and how many spells I need to save up for the boss. Like kind of changing, like there's like a resource management angle to it.
I'm trying to think, how early can you get the Crown of Dusk and the Bellowing Dragon Crest?
You can get the Crown of Dusk right out the bat.
Right at the bat, yeah. And then with that, you can get the Ulasil Catalyst, because that'll be your best catalyst until you get intelligence. So yeah, you could probably do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, you'd just be really fragile. Like, super. I don't know if I would do it no shield. I don't know if I'm quite that hardcore. But
as soon as that guy finished that, he went to a dual claw run. And
oh, that's awesome too. Yeah, man, fucking goofy. Now that you watch, you've been turned on to watching speedruns. There's the one guy, we talk about him in the episode, who just does the gimmick ones. His shield only speedrun was really fun to watch. Like, and he does it. Like, he just happened to luck out and get a bone wheel shield. Like, right, and for a shield only speedrun, that's what you immediately do.
That's what you want, yeah.
You get as much humanity as possible, run down there, and then get Leroy to kill a bunch of those things until one drops a bone wheel shield. But yeah, like only using shields to attack.
And we all pray that we will have far more soon